Hello, everybody. Welcome to Championship Predictions Round 2 with me, Benjamin Bloom. And the great Sam Parkin is on holiday. Don't click away now. Keep watching because Sam has sent me his predictions. So we'll try and keep the show moving this week as best we can. And then he's here. He's locked in for the rest of the season. Last week, and this is quite annoying that Sam's not here, I started with a win. It was 10-5 to me. 3 bob-ons. But to be fair to Sam, if you watch it back, he's actually quite unlucky because 2 of the bob-ons, he actually had to scribble out the same prediction. So basically the order of who went first decided who was going to win it last week. But fine margins, guys, is what the predictions are all about. I will take the 1-0 win. And we did have a double public apology. We'll link that at the end of the video where Sam and I predicted 2 teams. Both of us said they would lose and they won. And you can find out who they are, as I say, on that video, which we'll link at the end. And a couple of clips of the ones we actually got right as well. Normal deal here. We need you to get involved with your predictions. Excuse me. Down in the comments. You know the scoring by now, don't you? 3 points if you get your scoreline bob on. 1 point if you just get the result, home, away or draw. Give yourself a bonus point though if you get your scoreline bob on and it has 5 or more goals. Little bit of housekeeping here. We'll leave it to you in the comments. There are, spoiler alert, 2 scribbles in here. Sam and I have picked the same score. If you want, we can just let it go for this week. Or we can revert and one of them I'll need to change my score and one of them Sam. So let us know what you want us to do with the duplicate score lines in the comments. Let's start off because no Friday night football. That big, ugly, horrible, evil Premier League is back, taking the TV schedules out on Friday. So we're in for 3 earlies as usual on Saturday. And the first is Derby County versus Coventry. Coventry started with a 0-0 draw against Hull. As we're recording on Wednesday, we won't quite factor in Carabao Cup because some teams have played and some haven't. Derby led, but then went under at Stoke. And Sam has backed his old mate Eusty and a Derby County win here. So Sam's first pick is Derby 1, Coventry 0. I can't explain Sam's thinking, but I see where he's coming from. We're thinking low scoring possibly here, aren't we? Eustace likes to play that way. He told us to our faces in an interview that he's eager to keep it tight. We might have Lewis Travis in at Derby as well by then. And yeah, Coventry was 0-0 in the first game and they kept a clean sheet. I know I said I wouldn't mention the Carabao Cup too much. Kept a clean sheet, didn't they, in the Carabao Cup. So it does feel like a low scorer. So I'm going to do it. It'll be a bit boring because Coventry have already had one of these. But let's throw in my only 0 effing 0. I'll go Derby 0, Coventry 0. It's Pompey versus Norwich. So these teams got off to opposite starts in round 1. Pompey won away. Norwich lost at home. Great start for Pompey. And I think to go to Oxford and win there, when you're looking at where a team's going to be in the Championship hierarchy, you know, if Portsmouth are a team that's, say, going to take 4 points off Oxford, then perhaps you can start to move them out of that bottom 4, bottom 6 picture, which they really don't want to be involved, either of those sides, last week. And Pompey go to Fratton, where they are extremely good and had some brilliant results last season. Norwich, horrible start, wasn't it? We said Liam Manning would be a slow burner. However, some disappointment from the Norwich supporters that have been in the comments that it was a bit one-paced, Ben. It was a bit dull. You know, we need some improvement on that quickly, which on the one hand, yeah, it's only been one game, but on the other hand, they're all fair points, aren't they? That you'd wanted sorted out sooner rather than later. I am going to go for the draw here. I don't actually see Norwich winning here. I think with the slow start and the the fact that Pompey are good at home, I think it's either a draw or a Pompey win. So I am going to hold up two fingers and go 1-1. Maybe Pompey will take the lead and Norwich will grab the goal back, and it will be in that order. Sam has gone all in, and he's assuming that the poor start for Norwich is going to continue. And this will be alarm bells if this score comes in, because Sam is going with the Fratton Roar and John Massinio's excellent work at Pompey to continue. He has gone Portsmouth 2, Norwich 1, which would, of course, mean back-to-back wins for Pompey, back-to-back defeats to start for Liam, Manning and Norwich. The main TV game, which we will do as a watch-along, is Wrexham versus West Bromwich Albion. And I did Wrexham last week. I think we'll probably do Wrexham a fair few times with Sky picking the games here and the narrative around them. And I thought they were unlucky to lose to Southampton. I thought they deserved something. It was a pretty complex game, so I don't want to get into it. But my kind of takeaway is they probably deserved something and didn't get it. West Brom did win their opening game. So Ryan Manning off to a 3-point. It was against Blackburn, wasn't it? And the feedback I've got is a game of two halves, but lots of positive signs for West Brom. And Sam is doubling down on West Brom. He's going for the away win, Sam. And he's got Wrexham 0, West Brom 1. I am going to flip that scoreline. And remember, we did do these blind, so I'm not doing that in response to what Sam's done. I'm going to back Wrexham. Look, I haven't seen West Brom play, so if I watch them and they're brilliant, then obviously I'm wrong about this. But I have seen Wrexham play, and I think they're going to be a tough nut to crack. And I think home form is going to be something, that they can maybe leverage there. It's a new place it's a new kind of location on the and stadium on the Championship routing, isn't it? So they may have the element of surprise. I know these are professional footballers, but sometimes, particularly with clubs like West Brom who've been in the Championship a lot, it can make a difference. And I am backing Wrexham to win and get their first points of the season 1-0. Let's move it on to Blackburn versus Birmingham. Birmingham are one of only two teams I've seen in the flesh already this season, because I was at St Andrews on Friday night for Birmingham 1, Ipswich 1. And we just mentioned Blackburn, didn't we? The West Brom defeat. And Big Val, as you'd imagine he would, was really happy with the second half and said should have got something from the game. I'll leave that to the Rovers fans and the Baggies fans to fight out in the comments whether Val is right there. I was very impressed with Birmingham. It had all been hype all through the summer. And, it's easy to get carried along with the hype. And I was trying to stay focused and go, right, okay, the hype's great. The off-pitch stuff is great. The recruitment is great. Let's just watch them play now and take a view. And I like what I saw from the team. I like what I saw from the manager. So I will be backing Birmingham. Easy for me to say, to get their first win. I don't think they're going to batter teams, and they didn't in League One. I mean, battered them kind of possession-wise and control-wise, but I think it's going to be methodical. So I'm only going to go for the 1-goal victory here. I'm going to go Blackburn 1, Birmingham 2. And Sam Parkin must also have liked what he saw, because he's gone even further than me. He has gone for a 2-goal margin of victory for Birmingham, and he's gone Blackburn 1, Birmingham 3. And as I say, Sam will be back next week, and we will do a Championship check-in pod as well. So we'll get his take on all of that good stuff then. Right, Bristol City versus Charlton, 2 winners on round 1 as well. And Bristol City are indeed our early leaders, given that they won 4-1 on opening day. A brilliant start for Gerhard Struber. Charlton won a tight game late on at the Valley. Now, this may not be a tight game, and it's not at the Valley. Which way around have I got to do this? Have I got to do Sam first on this one? I do have to do Mr. Parkin first on this one. Let me just grab a pen so I can mark these as I go. I'm not used to doing this on my own. I normally get 30 seconds while Sam's speaking. Sam is back in Bristol City, though, to go back-to-back and get the second win. And he's got a clean sheet into the bargain. So maybe Sam thinks Charlton are going to skew better at home. Sam's prediction is Bristol City 2, Charlton 0. I would like to play a bonus point on this one, because if you had predicted Sheffield United 1, Bristol City 4 correctly, you would have got a bonus point. I don't know if anybody did, because it's a big scoreline, and it was a surprise, really, when you look at the betting and all things considered. But I'd like to play a bonus point here, and I'd like to... My narrative is that Struber is now going to double down. He's going to be emboldened by winning the first game. He's going to be so aggressive, waving his players up the pitch the whole time. Press, go, counter. I mean, Charlton are the right team to try and stop that, but if they break the seal early, it might get a bit more basketball-y. So I will also go for Bristol City here, and I'll play for a bonus point. I'm going to go 3-2 to the Robins in this game against Charlton. It's Millwall versus Middlesbrough. And another matchup between two sides who won on opening day. Millwall, great win at Norwich. First win there in nearly 60 years. Middlesbrough, it was a bit of a nothing burger, wasn't it? The stats kind of pointed at a 0-0 game there, but a set play from Dale Fry got the win for Handsome Rob on opening, debut game as manager up there for him. So, given that Middlesbrough's win was kind of tight and feels less viable than what Alex Neil has already done at the end of last season and in the opening round, I am going to back Millwall to go back-to-back. And I'm going to back another tight game involving Middlesbrough. And I'm going to go Millwall 1, Middlesbrough 0. Sam Parkin disagrees with me because he thinks Middlesbrough are going to get something in this one. But he doesn't think they're going to win it. He's gone right down the middle. He's taken my scoreline, but he's giving Middlesbrough a goal. So Sam has gone Millwall 1, Middlesbrough 1, honours even at the Den. Now, Preston is the first example where Sam and I have both selected the same scoreline. Again, you're going to tell us what we need to do with this in the comments, and I will do the necessary. But we have both picked a 2-0 away win here. So, spoiler alert, early, we've both gone Preston 0, Leicester 2 on this one. Preston drew 1-1 at QPR. By the way, what an assist from Iverson, the Preston keeper, former Leicester player, booting that over the top for... I was going to say booting it over the top. It was much better than that, wasn't it? Kind of horizontal volleyed goal kick right over the top through ball. Brilliant assist in that game. Leicester were... And I mean, we're both about to predict them to win, but I can only say my feelings on it. Leicester weren't that good, were they, against Sheffield Wednesday, in the respect that Wednesday have been up against it and gave a really good account of themselves in the first half. And it took Leicester to go behind. And also, Bannon was red carded for Wednesday. So it took a late goal for them to go behind and a red card for them to win at home against the most beleaguered club in the league. But I now believe that will be a very good settling thing. Cifuentes has got his first game out of the way as manager. They've got the first win on the board. And you know what the Championship's like. Now the grind begins. The muscle memory starts to form. And away we go. So I think you just go with the fact that if Leicester, and we can say this about year one parachute teams for the majority of games they play, if Leicester just don't play this in a ridiculous way or make any stupid mistakes or get any crazy bad luck, they should be able to do a workaday away win, and that's what both Sam and I have gone. So it's a double, Preston 0, Leicester 2. And on we go to Sheffield Wednesday. And it looks, well, spoiler alert, because I'm going to go first. Like, Sam was actually fairly impressed by Sheffield Wednesday. But let's talk my prediction first. And we say it at the start of every season. Don't trust Stoke. Don't get carried away if they have good performances at the start of the season. You think, finally, Stoke are back. The real Stoke have stood up. Please stand up after 7 years of not doing that. But with that being said, I am going to get a little bit carried away. I mean, am I getting carried away? Sheffield Wednesday, it's easy to forget, in spite of that first half performance, how beleaguered they are, how few players they are. I think they will still have Bannon because I think the suspension rolls into the Carabao Cup game. But I think Mark Robins will be able to control this occasion and just do the necessary here. Keep at arm's length a kind of young, cobbled together Sheffield Wednesday. Well, I say young team. It's the bench where they're just having to throw all the youth players. And they do have enough senior players to kind of put a team out that doesn't look too ridiculous at Championship level, does it? But I think Robins will take the clean sheet. And I'm going to go for Stoke. Another back-to-back winner. Wednesday 0, Stoke 1. Sam, and again, you can tweet him and ask him his rationale here, has got Sheffield Wednesday getting a point, which would be a pretty good story and a pretty good feather in the cap for Henrik Pedersen, who's in as manager now, and the Wednesday players that haven't, I was going to say jumped ship there. That's not necessarily fair when they've been paid late for, we think, 4 out of the last 6 months or whatever the correct figure is. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that. But Sam has got Wednesday getting a draw here. So I'd imagine he's thinking that they get themselves in front like they did at Leicester and, you know, see it out this time. They were only a couple of minutes from a point, but Leicester were banging the door down, weren't they? So I think you've probably guessed. Sam has gone for Sheffield Wednesday 1, Stoke 1. It's Swansea versus Sheffield United. We've had plenty of teams that won on opening day. Here are 2 teams that both were defeated on opening day. We kind of mentioned both of the games. And I think, not in a delusional fan way, but I think both sets of fans, I think the Sheffield United fans will say, okay, it was one of them against Bristol City, wasn't it? You know, counter-attack, it was a free kick, bam, counter-attack, bam, half-time, bam, deflection, bam. And I think Bristol City basically finished like, you know, wildfire and scored all their chances, didn't they? And, you know, the timing of the goals and the way the game went. If you're a Blades fan, you can say it's just one of them. And Swansea as well, we already mentioned it, really tight game with very, very little in it. And they went under 1-0 to a set play. So that leads me and Sam, by the look of this, both to think that we're kind of not sure what we're going to get on this one. And Sam is going to throw in the tedium, because it's a long trip for the Blades fans, of a 0-0. So Sam has gone Swansea 0, Sheffield United 0. I've also gone for a draw, and Sam and I both do this when we're not entirely sure. You get the random Desmond thrown in. Can I just put on record, just so I can embarrass myself, I don't see Swansea winning. I think it's either a draw or Blades now start moving. They're still a Year 2 parachute team that finished 3rd and lost in the playoff final last year. So it is going to be the random Desmond when you're not sure, but you think there might be some goals. I have gone Swans 2, Blades 2. And it's Watford versus QPR. I am up first. Watford lost in the Carabao and lost late on to Charlton in the EFL in round 1. And Sam and I are split on this one, I've got to say. And for reasons only known to myself, I just have a hunch for Watford in this game. I think home advantage means something. And I can see I can see Watford just getting something from an individual. It being a tight game and, I don't know, someone bends one in the corner to win it for Watford. So I'm going to back the Hornets to get off the mark. It'll be a pretty horrific start if they don't, because it'll be 3 defeats in the first week, which is not the one you want. You're the one I want. So I'm going to go Watford 2, QPR 1. And you'll sense from me already having said Sam and I are split on this. Just remember which team Sam supports as well. But he's backing Rangers in this one. And I'm guessing he's thinking there was enough from the opening game against Preston to be positive. It was Julian Stefan's first game, of course, wasn't it? They still look fairly busy. Still lots of transfer rumours surrounding QPR that we expect maybe another couple of players to come in before the window closes. And maybe Sam's buying into Watford adjusting under new manager. To be fair, when he gave me his predictions, he didn't know that they'd lost to Norwich. So, hey, maybe he's ahead of the curve on that one. And Sam has gone Watford 0, QPR 1. That's all the Saturday games. 2 on the Sunday. And it is Ipswich versus Southampton. The first meeting this season. We circle them, don't we, of the Year 1 parachute teams, of 2 of the Year 1 parachute teams. Ipswich go against Saints. And I've got to mention it. This was a hell of a game, wasn't it? In the run-in when Ipswich did get promoted. An incredible 3-2 with that 97th minute winner from Jeremy Sarmiento and a red card for Southampton. And Southampton looking like they were going to win it, and then it flipping round the other way. Chaos and substitutions and 5 goals and all of that. And it looks like Sam is going for more of the same. I dare say, in my humble opinion, neither Ipswich or Southampton really played to their potential in an opening day. And it says a lot about, the power of the parachute teams, that neither Ipswich and Southampton played well. And Southampton got a late win, and Ipswich got a late draw against a team, or rather at a stadium in St Andrews, where maybe not many people are going to be coming away from there too happy if we think Birmingham are as good as we imagine. Sam's got this down the middle, and he's got it goalie as well. Would both managers shake hands on, just keep building through, get to that window closing, get to that international break, which you have to do as a Year 1 parachute team with all the chaos and churn there. Sam has gone Ipswich 2, Southampton 2. I've also gone for the draw, and I do worry about this game, and we'll cover it on a watch-along. I do worry that it's going to become both managers aren't quite there with their teams, that it could then, for that reason, become a pragmatic, right, we're still developing, so let's be a little bit cautious here with how we're getting forward and how brave we want to be with our pressing, and particularly with both managers, our passing and, connections. Got to sound like one of those data, connections through the team. I just wonder whether it might get a little bit, okay, take a point, shake, move on. I've got it ending that way, so I've got a lower scoring draw than Sam. I've gone Ipswich 1, Southampton 1. Finally, we end with Hull versus Oxford, and once again, well, has to be this one. You knew there was 2. It's the only other one that Sam and I have got the same scoreline on. I won't give away what that is just yet, but Hull 0-0 on opening day, Oxford 0-1 home defeat on opening day. So both sides looking for their first win. I'll give you my thoughts because our scorelines are the same. I think, even though both sides didn't win, there was more positivity about Hull. I think Hull were closer to where they want to be than Oxford were. Gary Rowett admitted it very honestly himself, that particularly in the first half, Oxford weren't at it. And they really need to leverage that at home. They've got to go to Hull. And from what I'm hearing about Hull, well, they were better than we expected them to be. And I know a lot of that is negative hype, negativity. Negative hype? Is that a thing? Is that an oxymoron? Got any English graduates? Check me on that one in the comments. I think Hull were better than we thought they were going to be. And it is a reminder to people like me who talk all the way through the summer that football is actually played with a ball on grass. And it's very easy to get sucked into narratives while there are literally no games being played for 76 days and 10 weeks during the off-season, close season. If you don't like American sports parlances, sometimes people complain at me for using them. Imagine that. People complaining on the internet in the comments. The Oxford fans are going to be complaining, though, because we've both got Hull winning this one. And Sam and I have gone for, in conjunction with one another, Hull 1, Oxford 0. I know lots of people are big fans of Sam's and will be disappointed not to see him here. But I know we all love our football, but we probably love our children and our families more. So Sam has the right to go on holiday with his family for a week, as do each and every one of you. And you also have the right to get your opinion in via the comments. So the fixtures you can always find down the bottom there. We have to put them in to get the chapters, so you can copy and paste those. Get your predictions in. And if you want a little bit of fun, head over here. That is the public apology video. Some people took it rather seriously. It's just a way of looking back at the predictions, and we're trying to be good sports and admit when we get it wrong. And down here, if you haven't already, that is my vlog from St Andrews, Friday night, Birmingham 1, Ipswich 1.